I've never believed in spirits, at least not until the night I met her, the woman who danced at the roadside shrine. It happened 3 months ago when I was sent on a last-minute assignment to Nakhon Nayok, a small province in Thailand. The area was known for its old temples, dense forests, and stories people tell in hushed voices when the sun goes down. I was driving back alone, late at night. The rain was pouring like hell, and the fog was so thick I could barely see past my headlights. That's when I saw it. A small shrine, sitting crookedly beside a massive banyan tree. You see those all the time in Thailand, spirit houses, where people make offerings to local guardian spirits. I don't know why, but something about this one caught my attention. Maybe because I recognized it. It was the exact same shrine I had stopped by a year ago. Back then, I was desperate, jobless, heartbroken, and sick of everything. I remembered pulling over and making a ridiculous promise out loud, half drunk and half praying. If I get a better life, I'll come back. I'll clean your shrine, I'll hire a dancer to thank you properly. But I never came back. Not until that night. The storm forced me to pull over. My phone had no signal. All I could do was sit and wait. That's when I saw her. She appeared slowly out of the rain. A woman in traditional Thai costume, glistening wet but unmoving. She stood under the tree, her arms lifted gracefully. And then she began to dance. It was slow, haunting, her fingers curved in impossible angles, her eyes locked on mine the whole time. It felt like she was performing just for me. I couldn't look away until lightning flashed, and for a split second, I saw her face clearly. She wasn't alive. Her skin was gray and sagging, her mouth torn at the corners like someone had stitched it shut. Her eyes were white, empty, but the dance didn't stop. I jumped back into my car, fumbling for the keys, but the engine wouldn't start. And then I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. Someone or something was knocking on my car window. When I turned, she was standing right there, her face pressed to the glass, smiling. She whispered something I couldn't hear, then vanished. The next morning, my car started just fine. The rain was gone. The shrine looked abandoned, dusty, broken, like no one had touched it for years. But something had changed in me. I started seeing things. Whenever I closed my eyes, I'd see her dancing. When I showered, I smelled the scent of jasmine, too strong, too sweet. And at 3:33 every morning, I'd hear the music, the kind played during traditional Thai dance, but slow, warped, and distant, as if it came from beneath the floor. I tried to ignore it, told myself it was just stress, until I got a package at my apartment. No return address. Inside, a single item, a hairpin, old, gold, and decorated with red gems, just like the one the dancer wore. There was also a note, written in red ink. You promised me a performance. Now it's your turn to dance. I went back to the shrine. It took me hours to find it again. But when I did, I finally understood. She wasn't a spirit from long ago. She had been a real dancer, hired to perform at the shrine for someone else's promise years ago, but she never made it home. Locals said she vanished one night. They found her dress, her shoes, her blood. They never found her body. And since then, every time someone made a promise and didn't return, she came back to remind them. I cleaned the shrine. I brought offerings, jasmine, candles, traditional music. I even hired a dancer to perform, hoping it would put her to rest. But during the performance, I saw her behind the hired dancer, mirroring every move. Only I could see her, and she was smiling. Now, every full moon, I return to the shrine, not to pray, but to watch. Because if I ever stop, she'll come back. And this time, she won't just dance.